Iniciando gravação.
Isso é muito gay, na moral. Para com isso.
Por favor, para de falar essa sua voz feminina. Não podemos lidar com esse tipo de coisa. Agora a gente volta ali pra
Com
fazer
licença,
a
para a
festa
direita.
do cara.
Aí.
Ah, a gente tá cheio de coisa pra vender agora, né? Granada boa. Lembra com quem é que vendia granada boa? Eu acho que era o Quadro do Celebra. Be pleased, I think. Olha o escudo ali, cara. É tanque, cara.
Não é tanque.
Isso não existia, mano.
Hello there, welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
Vai ter alguma missão que a gente também vai de.
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
Eles também precisam de uma também, não, eles.
Não, isso a gente pega em missão.
Não vem essa.
Vamos ver sim. Não, a gente pode usar
Tá olhando o que, rapaz? Qual foi? Quer apanhar?
E o outro levantou. É o primeiro salário que eu vejo que tem um porte bombado, é. Tá vendo?
Querem apanhar? Minha tripa aqui mete a porrada de todo mundo. Embaixada de novo? Por quê?
Fala com aquele carinha ali que ele vai pedir a liberação do corpo da mulher. Vamos ver com o outro. A mulher dele, ela vai servir de estudo pra desenvolver
Excuse me, Commander
maneira de
Shepard.
proteger ou não.
Commander Shepard.
Poder dar ou não.
My name is Samesh
Eu prefiro
Bhatia.
deixar com a aliança.
Forgive the intrusion, but I have nowhere else to turn.
É você.
A lot of people want my help these days. What makes you special?
My wife was a Marine. She was in the 212 on Eden Prime. I've requested that my wife's body be returned to me for cremation, but the military has refused my request.
Why did they refuse your request? There's got to be some reason.
I don't know. All I know is that they have declared it impossible for my wife to be returned to me.
We'll look into it.
The man in charge of my case is Mr. Bosca. When I last saw him, he was in the expensive bar over there. Thank you for your time.
Expensivo bar.
I just want to give my wife a proper funeral, and the respect she
Eu gosto
deserves.
de lá pra povão. Se bem que eu nunca bebi em nenhum desses lugares. Agora eu fiquei triste.
Quais
Eu
lugares
ali
você
nas
bebeu?
exóticas. Aqui, não dá pra beber.
A gente mata todo mundo. Todo lugar que a gente vai tem um tiroteio.
My goodness, you're Commander Shepard. Your activities made for quite a briefing in the Diplomatic Corps. Is there something I can do to assist you?
I hope so.
I'm here on behalf of Samesh Bhatia for his wife, Nirali.
Serviceman Nirali Bhatia died on Eden Prime, as Mr. Bhatia no doubt told you. Her wounds are inconsistent with any type of weapon damage we've seen before. That is why her body is being held.
You think her body might be dangerous or contaminated?
No, Commander. Nirali Bhatia is not dangerous. Her body is in fact extremely valuable to the Alliance. The tests we're conducting may lead to better defenses against Geth attacks. Respectfully, Serviceman Bhatia may save more lives in death than she did in life.
Sabe, eu concordo, cara.
How long do you think the research is going to take?
This is a long-term study. I wouldn't expect the bodies to be released for a year or longer.
You've got to have a lot of bodies. Can't you release one?
Very few bodies had this new type of weapon damage, and very few were in good enough condition to study. Beyond that, Commander, we need as many bodies as we can to get a reasonable sample size.
When will this research result in actual new technology?
If we're lucky, we'll actually realize usable technology from this study in a few years.
I'll tell Samesh. Next time you cut up a dead soldier, at least tell her husband the truth.
That was just the reaction we were hoping to avoid, Commander. But if you think it will help, tell Mr. Bhatia the truth. Perhaps he will understand. Please let me know if you have
Eu dei
any
uma
other
ameaçadinha
questions.
nele pra mostrar a próxima vez. Fale a verdade. Eu concordo completamente, né? Você vai salvar mais vidas.
Eu quero falar com ele.
É melhor pra não ficar.
Shepard, what can I do for you now?
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander.
Diga, esse cara toma tiro.
Hello, Commander. Has any progress been made with Mr. Bosker? Will he return my wife's body?
Tell me again what you'd been told about your wife?
As I said, I've been told nothing. I don't understand why they won't release her body to me.
It's not as simple as I'd hoped. The military needs your wife's body for important tests.
Tests? They're holding my wife's body for tests? My wife served the Alliance faithfully. She gave her life for humanity. And this is how they repay her.
Acho que ele não entendeu o nosso ponto.
Você é bonzinho, né? Você tá pedindo uma chance pra alguém, né?
Ninguém me contesta.
Sim, mas a gente precisa disso. Vai. É pra você.
Mr. Bhatia, your wife died defending humanity. We still need her help.
What right does the military have to hold her body? She's already given her life.
She died a hero, Mr. Bhatia, and now she has a chance to save even more lives.
It doesn't matter. She's dead. I just want her to come home. I miss her so much. Let them run their tests. Let my wife save lives so that others are spared the loss I feel today. Goodbye. Thank you for finding me answers.
Eu nunca consegui estar com a gente na cara. Cheio de arma. Vai ver o que a gente tá. Pode ficar ninguém.
Natália. Será que você já tem esse passivo?
Hora de ir pra cidadela, né?
Já estava.
De a Spectra. Que direções, bicho. Aqui, cara. Deixa eu pegar o elevador.
Eu gosto de ouvir o elevador.
Aquele elevador ali não diz nada.
Eu sou muito chato.
Isso é mais, cara.
Você é o tipo de pessoa que pega montaria e depois não anda mais no WoW, né?
Eu amo o tempo inteiro.
Vai.
Eu tava tendo certeza se era ali.
500 anos de curso ainda não gravou um dia?
Claro que eu gravei. Opa, tem uma missãozinha lá atrás. Ah, é nossa missão. Não uma missãozinha. É a missão.
Come on. Udin is presenting the Quarians' evidence to the Council.
Que arma tarefa?
Eden Prime was a major victory.
Tem Rex.
The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
You wanted proof? There it is.
This evidence is irrefutable, Ambassador. Saren will be stripped of his Spectre status, and all efforts will be made to bring him in to answer for his crimes.
I recognize the other voice, the one speaking with Saren. Matriarch Benezia.
Who's she?
Matriarchs are powerful Asari who have entered the final stage of their lives. Revered for their wisdom and experience, they serve as guides and mentors to my people. Matriarch Benezia is a powerful biotic, and she had many followers. She will make a formidable ally for Saren.
I'm more interested in the Reapers. What do you know about them?
Only what was extracted from the Geth's memory core. The Reapers were an ancient race of machines that wiped out the Protheans. Then they vanished.
Oh, tio.
The Geth believe the Reapers are gods, and Saren is the prophet for their return.
We think the conduit is the key to bringing them back. Saren's searching for it. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Do we even know what this conduit is?
Not yet.
Saren thinks it can bring back the Reapers. That's bad enough.
Listen to what you're saying. Saren wants to bring back the machines that wiped out all life in the galaxy? Impossible. It has to be. Where did the Reapers go? Why did they vanish? How come we found no trace of their existence? If they were real, we'd have found something.
É assim mesmo.
I tried to warn you about Saren, and you refused to face the truth. Don't make the same mistake again.
This is different. You proved Saren betrayed the Council. We all agree he's using the Geth to search for the conduit, but we don't really know why.
The Reapers are obviously just a myth, Commander. A convenient lie to cover Saren's true purpose. A legend he is using to bend the Geth to his will.
50,000 years ago, the Reapers wiped out all galactic civilization. If Saren finds the conduit, it will happen again.
Saren is a rogue agent on the run for his life. He no longer has the rights or resources of a Spectre. The Council has stripped him of his position.
That is not good enough. You know he's hiding somewhere in the Traverse. Send your fleet in!
A fleet cannot track down one man.
A Citadel fleet could secure the entire region, keep the Geth from attacking any more of our colonies.
Or it could trigger a war with the Terminus systems. We won't be dragged into a galactic confrontation over a few dozen human colonies.
Eu botei outra pra você.
Isso. A de cima.
Every time humanity asks for help, you ignore us.
Shepard's right. I'm sick of this council and its anti-human bull.
Ambassador, there is another solution. A way to stop Saren that does not require fleets or armies.
No, it's too soon. Humanity is not ready for the responsibilities that come with joining the Spectres.
I faced Saren on Eden Prime and exposed him for a traitor. I've proven myself.
E agora, Luke? É agora! É a primeira vez que eu vejo ele concordar.
Ele nunca concordou todas as vezes que eu vi.
Commander Shepard, step forward.
7 vídeos, os 3 primeiros têm meia hora, os outros 3 têm 1 hora, né? Em quase 5 horas a gente tirou aspecto.
It is the decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance Branch of the Citadel.
Spectres are not trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle, those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Spectres are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Spectres bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
You are the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
I'm honored, Counselor.
We're sending you into the Traverse after Saren. He's a fugitive from justice, so you are authorized to use any means necessary to apprehend or eliminate him.
I'll find him.
This meeting of the Council is adjourned.
Congratulations, Commander.
We've got a lot of work to do, Shepard. You're going to need a ship, a crew, supplies.
You'll get access to special equipment and training now. You should go down to the C-Sec Academy and speak to the Spectre Requisitions Officer.
Anderson, come with me. I'll need your help to set all this up.
Bastard didn't even thank you.
What do you expect from a politician? Come on.
Right behind you, Shepard.
Intimidação e charme abriu mais.
Bota dúvida na intimidação.
Aqui, charme, ó. A gente conseguiu desconto nas lojas.
Bota no máximo.
Aqui, units. O que isso aqui dá passivamente? Acrescenta o dano e duração de todos os seus poderes e ataques por 1%. Aumenta sua vida em 5%.
Vida, mira,
Aumento
regeneração.
máximo de mira.
Regeneração de mira por segundo. Então, o peça no máximo. Agora com os dois que sobraram. Não. Um eletrônico e um decriptação. Tira os dois ali que tu botou
Não,
agora.
precisa disso aqui.
Não.
Decisões que eu tenho que usar charme, cara.
Precisamos de eletrônica e desencriptação.
Mas que a gente vai conseguir. A gente já botou o máximo aqui. E nesses. Dá pra focar neles agora. Não é que eles também passaram. A gente tá botando isso aqui não. Aumentar uma vida agora. Redução de dano. Você vai ser o cara mais tanque do bairro, não é?
Eu acho que não.
A gente tá quase chegando nele. Oh Deus,
vai ser difícil chegar nela.
Chega o pessoal.
Aí, decriptação nela de novo. Pronto, agora bota um hack.
Salva aí, agora a coisa vai ficar brava. Você quer primeiro pegar a nave e aí a gente não sai e volta pra cidadela pra ver as missões que refrescaram ou aumentaram?
Eu quero dar uma dancinha, Matheus.
Esse cara aqui vai oferecer missões agora pra gente. Ele que inicia o negócio da Cerberus.
No, Congratulations on becoming the first human Spectre, Commander. I'm certain you'll be up to the challenge.
Primeiro.
I appreciate that.
My name is Admiral Kahoku. It's about time the Alliance got one of our own in with the Spectres. We need people like you to deal with our problems.
Is something wrong, Admiral?
I'm getting stonewalled by bureaucratic assholes. Nothing new. Maybe you can help me, Shepard. One of my recon teams was investigating some strange activity out in the Traverse. We lost contact yesterday. Now I can't get clearance to check it out. Suddenly it's a restricted area. But that doesn't apply to you, Shepard. Spectres can go anywhere they want. You could find out why my team dropped out of contact.
I'll see.
I'll look for them if I have time.
Well, that's more than most will commit to. I'm gonna stay here and see if I can find anything out through official channels. Won't hold my breath, though. I'll upload the info on where my team was last seen to your ship. Maybe you can get some answers.
Viram o que depois no 3? Quando a gente no 3 no 3? Tá falando que aí, filho?
Cada um muda, hein? Cada um tem uma posição diferente.
É, o Cash era simplesmente uma soldado. O Alenco que já era alguma coisa. Ele é promovido do 1 pro 2 e do 2 pro 3.
Ela também.
É, vamos olhar duas promoções.
Aqui primeiro falaram no trade, né? Agora a gente tem acesso ao pessoal, a parte de espectro. Agora é VIP.
Sabe que eu só comprei esse equipamento de espectro no final do jogo?
Hello, Commander.
Tem que pegar o mais forte que é o X. O X são...
Show me what you've got.
Opa.
Sounds good. Just let me set you up. Well, this must be a mistake. System's telling me to offer you our select stock. Spectre? Well, I heard about that, but I didn't realize it was you. Sorry, Commander.
Ah, tá tranquilo, meu
Just
parceiro.
show me what you've got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
Agora tem espectro. Esse aqui são os 7.
Sim, mostra aqui.
Esses são os melhores, cara. Quando você chega no 10...
Tem, eu comprei tudo no nosso.
Não, tem. Tô dando com as licenças. Às vezes tem esses aprimoramentos. Mas me interessa o aprimoramento da chega e granada, tá chegando no máximo que é 10. Mod, botar em arma e tal, isso que interessa. Porque arma, a dos espectros...
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Volta, vê as novas missões da cidadela ou pega pros próximos lugares. A gente não pode rushar as missões principais. Eu te garanto, vai ser triste.
Vai. Ai, cara. Eu não quero passar por aquela missão de novo, Matheus.
Qual missão?
Você sabe, a única missão que me traumatizou desse jogo.
Ah, você não jogou tanto quanto eu.
Eu zerei 4 vezes.
É, eu zerei várias. Tudo bem?
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
What kind of leads do we have?
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
Gotcha.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
Eu faria o necessário.
I'll do whatever it takes to stop Saren.
Not exactly the answer I was looking for, Shepard. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
He was smart. He needed a diversion.
This went way beyond a simple diversion, Commander. The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
I want to know the truth about you and Saren. I want to know about the mission you were on together all
We
those
had
years.
intel. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant.
The only thing
You're
I
right,
care
Commander.
Adeus,
It's no good living in the past.
Ele fala demais.
I'll be here if you need anything.
E a pior parte que eu odeio do 1 é sempre essa parte do escuro.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Saren's out there somewhere, and we're gonna find him.
Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
Agora a gente faz as coisas da minha maneira.
Listen up, Normandy.
This is your commander speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. And I refuse to let anything get in the way of that mission.
We all know what happened on Eden Prime.
We saw the destruction, we saw the bodies, we saw what Saren did. And I plan to make him pay.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
Wherever Saren goes, we'll follow.
Wherever he searches for the conduit, we'll be there. We will hunt him to the very ends of the galaxy and bring him down.
This is the most important mission any of us have ever been on.
The fate of an entire galaxy is at stake. We will stop Saren, no matter what the cost.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
Você, cara.
Eu sei. A primeira.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir. Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly, they're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
You're dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
I have to go.
Alright, see you.
Presley! Presley! Ah, Presley, velho.
É Presley.
Presley.
Quer focar a gente não?
Vira aí que eu vou enquadrar ele. Eu vou voltar pra ele. Outra aqui, na parte normal. A gente recebe e-mail? Acho que não.
Não, de vez em quando a gente fala com o senhor. Deixa eu falar das mensagens.
Você quer entrar pela etiqueta?
This is my room, bitch! Não, deixa assim. Será que eu já peguei isso pra você? Eu falei que a gente tinha quarto, eu não sabia nem que tinha.
Você achou que a gente ficava onde?
Meu amigo, eu achei que a gente fez isso tudo em um dia.
Um dia?
Vum, vum, vum. É, meu,
Não, foi no mínimo semanas.
Anything you need, Commander?
Personal bitch.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Acho que ele vira comandante no 2 e capitão no 3. Essa aqui é a saída principal da nave. É? Aqui é a ponte onde eles abaixam. Olha que tá vendo aqui, ó. Isso tudo aqui é o que. Essa aqui é a rampa que a gente sai enquanto a gente anda normal.
Não é porque o carro não tá aqui.
O carro é a entrada de carga. Eu sei, tá
doutora. Doutora, vamos beber. Ah, não agora não.
Sendo 3. 2.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed... I wanted to travel, but humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding.
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Querer um elevador também rápido, aproveitar a paisagem. Começa com a parte de trás e depois eu.
Agora o outro vai querer falar com a gente.
Adams!
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander. Something I can do for you, Commander.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work, mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Não, porque a Tali foi promovida ao cargo do pai dela.
How come the council didn't step in and stop?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
75 level up. Vai estar mais próximo. conversando. Leva a sério.
Caramba, para de girar a câmera. É do fundo pro...
Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
Shepard?
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
They tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Pra gente pegar mais de deve ser assim. Shepard, aí não tem nada pra falar, aí você bota essa aí. Rex. Shepard, Rex.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSAC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSAC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
True.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander. Commander, good to see you.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you got. You bet, Commander.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Aceitar ali, falar ali, e depois ir viajar pelo universo de mundo a mundo. Oi?
Sim, a gente falou que
Presley?
Agora tu fala.
Quer falar, né, Presley?
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Tá duvidando da minha decisão, Presley?
I'm in charge here, Presley. I decide if we have non-humans on this vessel.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Que eu gosto.
Vai. Acabou, Matheus.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Depois dessa ameaçada?
Acabou.
Ai. Caramba, é pela frente aqui. A gente chegou a entrar ali no meio?
Entramos. O que tu quer, Matheus?
Não, pra saber se a gente tinha entrado, pra ver se tinha alguma coisa escondida.
Tá querendo fazer o quê?
Agora a gente vai pra Cidadela pra pegar novas missões.
Tá. Fecha o episódio. Ele é full tech.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere.
Quem sempre começa com conteúdo atrasado.
Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Aí, viu? Chega mais perto.
When I first arrived at the Citadel, I spent nearly 3 hours being questioned by the officers here before they would let me enter the
muda
wards.
muita coisa, né? Ou não? Ih, a gente tinha esquecido, né? O que você quer distribuir nele? Fala pra mim. Mais um defeat?
É, e bota o Warp também. O Warp é bom.
O que o Warp faz? Criança dá dano ao alvo por segundo. E diminui a produção do alvo. É, parece muito bom. E a nossa tanque.
Hacking.
E que hacking dá pra ela?
Ela controla o...
Não, aumentar. Aumenta o tempo de sabotagem, overlord e damping vai 6%. Ela tem tudo isso.
Tem.
Não necessariamente. Qual vai ser a diferença pra botar aí? Ah, funciona em pessoal mais avançado. É bom focar isso.
Por enquanto só o garfo normal. Esse último aqui já são os rockets e os snipers. Aqui é aquele flame tower, é o da bazooka e aquele juggernaut.
You Quarians messed with the whole galaxy when you let the Geth break free. Do your people ever talk about it?
Do the Krogan talk about starting a foolish war that resulted in the Turians sterilizing your people?
All the time.
É, no início quando ninguém se conhece, depois quando estão amigos.
A Tali tem que estar com a gente quando a gente for com o... for encontrar o Rex com o Ground.
Yeah.
Acho que foi comigo.
Dependeria? Eles estão querendo dar missão a repórter. Pode avançar aí, só. Ai, papai chegou.
I like a report.